I need to say happy birthday to Chilla before I forget.
Is it today?
Mm-hmm.
And also Justin.
Mackie.
Justin Kaunecki. We should talk about what we had for breakfast.
Oh, that would be a short conversation for me. I haven't had it yet.
What? Sorg.
Mackie?
Huh?
Kanaki. Alrighty. Let's roll with it.
Okay.
I need to hit record over here. Record. Pull up some Facey books. There. This feature is what? This feature is disabled. I didn't disable it. The heck?
I was a little concerned about my computer this morning. I started it up, everything was fine, and then it wouldn't do anything.
Really? Like, do you think it was like just updates or loading or something?
I don't know. It wouldn't. It was just like I could. I mean, every now and then I would get the little hourglass, but it just wouldn't react to anything. And it like Control Alt Delete worked, and I tried to bring up the task manager, but that wouldn't work either. So I just restarted the whole thing, and it works okay now. It's been a little hinky lately and a little slow. It needs complete wipe and reinstallation, but I can't do that until I get my backup drive. So,
all right, you ready?
Yeah.
Morning, Will.
Morning, Sorg.
Hey, so this is episode 3. That's got to be some kind of milestone, right?
Yes, it means we've done it more than 2.
Yes. The streak is alive. The streak is alive. So this is the what was it? LB and the Sorg morning afternoon power hour is the official name that you will never see in print anywhere because it's far too long for anywhere I would put it.
Correct. That's correct. Yes. And not even in print because we don't print anything.
Well, no, in type.
Right.
In typiness, maybe something like that. So
in digital. It's the title in everyone's heart.
Yes, that sounds about right. Certainly.
Title of the heart.
Oh, geez. So should we get right into our interactive portion, or did you want to do the thing that you wanted to do?
I don't know what thing I wanted to do.
That's fine. That's fine.
Interestingly enough, it's the 3rd episode, and this is the first time that I'm recording from my home.
It sounds so much better.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Not
is
on a laptop.
This is the median going forward.
Maybe.
Of what it's going to sound like. Hopefully, maybe.
We're busy. We're busy guys.
We are busy. I can't wait till the week where I'm going to be broadcasting live from the Gathering of the Juggalos.
Right.
And I will be in a hotel room. I'll be rocking the Econo Lodge somewhere in Ohio, and because I don't do the camping thing anymore. Not at least that, it's just it's an experience, and not that I hate it, but I just like no, we're just gonna be well, and because I know how bad it gets after a couple of days. Sleeping on the ground.
What weekend is the Gathering?
I think it's like the last or next to last weekend in July.
Weekend in July, interesting.
Or are you thinking about going?
No, I'm not. But I'm thinking about if we would both be on the road for that weekend, and it is entirely possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because while I totally understand you want to go to the Gathering and you want to do it in some manner of comfort, I have been, since I would say February, desperate to go camping.
See, I wouldn't mind going camping, but I don't want to go camping at the Gathering.
Yes,
I've always loved my experiences there, with that. But it's, I just kind of want to go and enjoy myself And if I have to worry also about, all the camping things on top
Mm-hmm.
of the having fun, I would rather just have a bed and a shower that's a couple miles away and just do that.
Right. That's totally
Like,
understandable.
it just seems like a better experience to me now. I don't know, in my old age or something like that, but because when you go, and one of the big things about the concert is you get doused in soda pop at any turn, and that's okay. It's not true any turn. Oh no, I have sound. I have sound on this webpage. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It sounded like a car was coming, and then I thought, I know where Sorg's setup is. It's not possible to hear a car like that.
We moved it to Banksville Road, and it's very busy down here. It's very busy down here. From Banksville Road, the new site of Sorgatron Media Studios. Yeah, but anyways, no, I just want to be a little more comfortable this. I mean,
if you have the means to do it, you should absolutely do it.
I mean, actually, it ends up, I think, cheaper in the long run to do that towards, versus getting a car pass, a camping pass, and everything. Like, yeah, you can get like 5-6 people on the campsite with you, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It was the one year I did it by myself. That was kind of scary because things were kind of anarchy. And I thought I was going to get run over in the middle of the night by a car in my tent.
Oh no!
Yeah, like that's how I was like kind of worried. I'm like, people just started. It really kind of broke down the designated areas because there's an entire section that was down by the stage that got flooded out and nobody could put their tents. So they really just kind of gave up on the second day. And I mean, nothing bad happened or anything due to it. And even like at this new place in Ohio, and I hadn't gone anywhere. They had been over in like Illinois or something for like 4 or 5 years, and I didn't go to any of those. And I have no idea what it was like. I heard it got pretty bad towards the end there. And like I was really surprised that it seemed like everybody's tents. There was like an organized chaos. Because it seemed like everybody's tent was like practically right on top of each other. There's no kind of like, this is your area, which is the way it was at Nelson's Ledges when we used to go down there. And, but it worked, it's like there was some mass awesome organizational thing that happened on the first day that we completely missed. And it worked. and it looked like it worked out great. And because you just see a field of tents practically, and there's still paths. And it was a pretty fantastic thing. Don't underestimate the organizational nature of the Juggalos.
I think a lot of people would at first.
I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people definitely do.
Yeah.
But no, I'm very excited. I mean, I needed to go back this year, and as you know, I am an independent professional. Professional. Does that sound right? It sounds weird. It sounds weird to my ears to say that about myself.
Independent professional.
Yes.
Freelance.
Yeah, I guess so. I have a company.
In the common parlance.
I have an incorporation. And for some reason, and for many reasons, for real reasons, I stopped going to concerts. I stopped going to basically anything that entertained me. I was working.
Right.
Like I work so many wrestling shows that I don't go to a wrestling show anymore because twice a month I'm in front of it, right? And it's like, well, I have no reason. It's weird to go be an audience member, and I've been doing that actually, thankfully, with Vicious Outcast Wrestling, who we carry their digital downloads, and just that experience of like just be a fan, and enjoy it. And it's weird though because I'm there and I'm trying to just be a fan, but I know half the people in the ring. Which is so weird, like that I'm at this point where it's like, oh yeah, I know that guy. And, Jimmy Nuts comes around and he says, and just yells, "Hi, Sorg," as he's doing his ring entrance, it's just, hi. And then seeing him on SmackDown in the Tough Enough videos this week, it's just like blowing my mind,
I know that guy in real life.
I knew that guy when he didn't have the muscles.
Yeah. You have the perspective of seeing these things from the outside and then from the inside. You haven't just been on the inside the entire time.
Yeah, I like to say I'm even sitting there doing doing the video, doing all that kind of stuff, I'm a fan. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, that last IWC show, there was some crazy stuff happening in the ring, and I was popping out there. I'm like, holy shit, he's dead. You know, marker. But you know, it's I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. I like it. I like that I'm in the spot, but I also need to remember to go back and like it's killing me right now. And just you know, financially, I would love to go to Tech Nine on Monday, but I cannot fathom paying $50 just for the one band that I do like there when there's like 5 of them. You know,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. So, I mean, if I had a little more expendable income, you know, sure. But and Twist is coming in a couple weeks as well. I don't mind that I didn't get tickets to NXT because really, you know, I have enough wrestling in my life. You know, I'm considering whether to go to the WWE Live thing, and you know, maybe that'll be my thing over here in July. Because let's be honest, those live shows are way better than one of those Raws or SmackDowns or anything like that.
Mhm.
But I need to, if ICP's coming around, I need to go. I need to go, and I need to get doused with Fago. And it is, I realized this as it was happening at the gallery in this past year, first year, and since, geez, I had long hair, dude. I had long hair because I remember it was in like December, and I walked out, and my hair got frozen. And it was the greatest experience. And I knew at that time that this was the last time I was going to do it for a while. I didn't know why, you know, but it just seemed like, you know, I'm not coming back to this for a while, if ever. Like I just kind of took it on like it was my last time. And it was 4 years later, I went to the gathering again. And I'm sitting there and it was a really special moment because you're doing, you know, the insanity of an ICP show. There's Fago throwing and, you know, bottles and, you know, somebody's landing on my head from being crowd surfed or something like that, you know. And then it started thundering and raining on top of all that.
Nice.
In the middle of the show. And it was just like, I was like, this is a religious experience, you know, this is, you know, I mean, like, this is what I need, you know, this is like kind of my moment, you know, and I don't know, maybe that sounds weird, maybe that sounds silly, but you know, that's like, I don't know, it just fills me with so much energy, you know, and really kind of recharges the batteries. So I need that. I need to get that whenever they come around, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you have anything like that?
No. I would say probably the closest thing to that for me is my D&D group. That's, you know, I look forward to that all week long.
Okay.
I get to spend time with my friends. It's, you know, relaxation time. We have a phone ban in effect. So while we're playing, you know, our phones are off,
Wow.
or they're put away. You know, we can, if there's emergencies, we can check them and stuff like that. But you know, for the most part, phones are gone. And you know, it scratches the improv itch that I have.
Yeah.
Because I get to be this different character, and I get to, you know, make jokes and make people laugh, which is fun, and explore this whole other world, which is fun, and you know, be with people I'm really close with. We always get together and, you know, have a meal first, and it's great. It's just it's great. I wouldn't say that it necessarily energizes me, but it definitely it relaxes me. It gets me out of my head. It's just pure pleasure.
Yeah, see, and it's something where we've as we had our head shrinking experience yesterday in your backyard. Thank you, Dr. Will. Thank you, Dr. L, for helping me with that yesterday. But you know, finding that escape, because I've integrated all the things that I loved and did as escapes into my job, so, which is both fantastic and frightening at the same time. You know. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, there's a wrestling show tomorrow. Oh, there's a wrestling show tomorrow, and I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to edit it. I have to do that one. I'm going to find the time to do that. You know, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like looking at things. It's like, okay, I got everything today. Ooh, I don't get a Sunday. You know, and the closest thing is when I'm saying, though everything is done, I walk away from this is actually those pay-per-view parties that we do over at the Carlinses.
Yep.
I mean,
I do like the pay-per-view parties as well when I can make it to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I need something that, is something that gets me out of the house, gets me out of something that's a working thing. Even the podcasts are a working thing, of course, but but again, there's something I do for fun, and the worky part of it is I'm trying to turn it into a network, into this whole thing, right? Like this, I have no expectations for this podcast. It's just you and me chatting and see what conversation happens. I love the interaction we're getting with people helping with the parts of the show, on the board. I mean, this is fantastic, and this is the stuff for this kind of thing. This is what I live for, and then I get to do it for clients. To be like, oh, we did this over here. They're like, what can I do for your thing over here? And it's good because we have so many samples of what we can do about this,
Mm-hmm.
But no, definitely something like that just kind of takes you away. And that's why I kind of wish I could go to some of these concerts and everything. Like even like I had free tickets to a concert. I have no idea who in this moment was. I just ended up not going. I had a ticket in hand and pay for them. I just stayed home. I was like, I got stuff to do, but I want to do the things. That's weird, no, I gotta work, but it's okay. But then there's part of me is like, you need to not work for a little bit, but you need to work because it's kind of fun. But you need to do something that you don't have to worry about the consequences of what you're doing.
Yeah. You can't drive yourself completely insane.
Yeah. So
you have to have that balance. You know what I mean? Not everything can stress you out, and you've put yourself in a position where the things that you love also kind of stress you out because you've made them part of your business essentially.
You know what? Doesn't that happen with other people too? Because what if I don't know, this sample pops in my head because we had Darren De Niro, great indie wrestler. He's less than a year in. He's already getting such wonderful opportunities between Tough Enough. He's going to tour in London. I mean, another guy that was on my TV Thursday night on WWE, which is just, this is the world we live in now, right? Oh yeah, he made it on TV. Cool, good for him. Holy crap, he made it on TV. Like there's kind of that back in the day thing. It's a whole other topic I could get into, but like you gotta think about like people's hobbies. I think people's hobbies would generally stress them out. I mean, I don't think that's a new thing. Like but talking to him, I'm thinking like, what if you're like amateur wrestling coach or referee, something like that? I mean, that's not a job per se. Well, I guess it is a job, isn't it? Well, in certain cases it's a job. I don't know how the structure is, but or you're a boosters person or you're something like that, right? But I just picked the worst example, didn't I?
I don't know what you're talking about right now.
No, like, what if you're
going off on this whole tangent? No, what I'm saying is you've taken all of your hobbies and made them work.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, I mean, hobbies will stress you out to a certain degree because, it's another thing to get done. But I'm saying that that's all your stuff.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily bad because, the saying or whatever is, do what you love and you won't work a day in your life. But that's not strictly true because, you're still working.
No. The real thing is do your passion and you will work the hardest out of anybody and that you ever have.
Right.
But
it's a trap.
It is a trap, but but still, it's not, and it's not going to be the most enjoyable, but it's going to be, well, at least I'm doing this and not doing this for somebody else.
Yeah.
That's what I got to do.
You're always going to work harder when there's passion behind what you're doing.
Right. And this is another thing I'll listen to, bring up his name a lot, but Leo Laporte, he's created his own network, this, that, and the other thing. And there's something like he was talking about, he's talking about to his former co-host. He was like, I just want to not work for a man. And he's like, Leo, you're always going to be working for a man.
Mm-hmm.
That's sexist, or a woman. But, but the man is always there. If you're independent, you have clients that you're working for. If you're, or anything like that, if you just work for yourself or whatever, you still have the government, there's always somebody to answer to. You know what I mean? And it's just like what level of, and actually, if you're only answering to one man, to your workplace, hopefully that means they kind of absorb all the rest of the mans, like, mm-hmm. I work for the man, my taxes are taken care of and taken out, and I just fill out the easy form at the end of the year and I'm good. People stress out about that. That's easy. I wish I could go, as far as taxes, holy crap, I wish I could go back to that. It is so different now.
Yeah. I feel like the line between, you know, working for the man, you know, in air quotes, the man, it's blurred. It's more blurred than it ever has been. You know what I mean? Because you have so many people who are seizing this opportunity to work for themselves and to do things on their own terms, and they're succeeding at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Varying styles, you know.
Right. So as a result, you know, I mean, working for the man used to be, well, I go to work and I wear a tie and I sit at a desk and I, you know, do whatever they tell me to for some evil, soulless, blind corporation. And sure, that still exists, but
you don't have to.
Yeah, it's a whole different atmosphere. So saying, you know, I don't want to work for the man, that doesn't mean anything anymore. That's like saying I don't want to sell out. That doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, the only person that doesn't sell out is the guy that we had on, was Steve Klabnik, I think it was. He's a guy that he grew up, didn't go to college, or maybe even dropped out of college, and he's like a coding freaking phenomenal genius.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about this. We were talking about kind of clutter and kind of, you know, letting some stuff go and everything the other day, right? And like he just kind of, I think he's like a digital nomad, you know, that he, you know, has nothing, moves to whatever city that he freaking wants because he has no attachments.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't know if that's still the truth, you know, here 2-3 years later after we talked with him. I don't know where he is. He's in the wind somewhere, you know. I mean, we talked about that, you know. And there's other guys that are like, you know, frankly, writers. So something that can be a little more mobile,
mm-hmm.
and they find themselves like, yeah, we're going to move to a different country every 6 months or so because we can. And I'm still going to do my work and I'm still going to support this because I don't need to be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that is amazing. And I'm starting to wrap my head around that idea, you know. Well, you know, frankly, because of what I do, and maybe I can move into something that's a little more mobile. Maybe I can just be an editor, producer, something like that. Mm-hmm. And that could be an option. I don't know. But, you know, once I do really, really awesome at whatever I end up being when I grow up. So, but I mean, that's kind of a fun fantasy, but it's not so much a fantasy if you work at it the right way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, our generation was raised on the idea that we could do whatever we want as long as we work at it hard enough.
Yet we were schooled to say, you do this, you go to job, you go to school, you go to college, you get a job at a desk. Because I've talked about this several times. My mindset was, okay, what can I do to get a job that I'm gonna hate the least?
Mm-hmm.
That was my mindset getting through college. That's why I went to the Art Institute. That's why I went and did this. You know, I mean, and I, for sake of the video aspect, which was what I was really passionate about at the time, and now I'm kind of in this rediscovery phase of that's the last 10 years. But still, and it's like I'm hitting all the goals that 8-year-old me thought would have been absolutely impossible. Always. So, anyways, that's fun. Thank you, Dr. Will.
Sure.
We start a show. Start a new show.
Never. That won't work.
No,
it won't, because the key to this kind of thing, to helping someone, is listening.
Right.
And I can't host a show that completely depends on just listening if we don't have callers or write-ins or whatever.
You never know. We can figure something. Oh, dude, now I'm thinking of a new show. You know how dangerous that is.
No more shows.
No more shows.
Can't handle any more shows.
No more shows. In fact, I'm thinking about canceling a couple. No, not really. I actually wasn't. Not. Well, we talked about this yesterday, but we're not.
Yeah.
I did push to schedule a meeting about that one show though. So,
excellent.
So it's all about and yeah. Well, no, I don't want to get inside baseball on that part here, but I don't know what else is going on. Will, what's going on with your life here?
Well, I went and saw a live recording of Welcome to Night Vale last night.
So in the past, 3 weeks, we have both gone to see a live recording of a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That was not ours.
You went and refreshed my memory. What did you go see?
I went to see the guys from Does This Hold Up on the Epicast Network. They did their 100th episode down Arcade Comedy Theater around Star Wars: A New Hope. We had them on the Awesome Cast within that week before because I'm like, hey, yo, get on, let's promote it, whatever, right? And yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I got to say, Welcome to Night Vale was incredible.
Now, Welcome to Night Vale. This is interesting. So this is one of those more, shall I call it fictional?
It is fictional, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the idea is it is the community radio station of this fictional town called Night Vale. And Night Vale is like, imagine a town where X-Files happened and exploded. And it's really all this, like a bunch of creepy stuff happens, but it's also really funny and really poignant and really interesting. And there's, different narrative threads and plot lines that go through it. And it's very stylized. The music is very kind of creepy, but very cool. And the guy has a fantastic voice, Cecil Baldwin, who's the voice of Night Vale. And it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun.
I love that. I mean, there's when we say podcasting, it's not just like I like this conversation, and we even have somebody listening live on the Google Hangout. It seems, and it's our voice. We're even doing video for this thing. Hello, listener. Q&A doesn't work, so I don't know who you are. Tweet perhaps that's sort of John. But anyways, and I love that conversation open thing that doesn't have to be really stringent and edited. I don't have to be an audio engineer to do this. He's like, you can plug in a mic, we're good to go. You'll probably have a USB mic, you're plugged right into your computer, we're good to go. Sounds great. And I dig that. I really dig that. But I am fascinated by these NPR-ish edited concept things that's more like just a long audiobook, right? Wasn't Serial a bit like that too? That everybody was going nuts about?
Well, Serial wasn't fictional.
Oh, that's right. It was a investigation into something, right?
Yeah, it was basically a story about they were investigating this murder that happened. And then Welcome to Night Vale is all fictional and story, and it's a lot like the Thrilling Adventure Hour. It's scripted. There's not a lot of improv. Although Thrilling Adventure Hour does have more improv. It's more of instead of being closer to like an audiobook or a discussion, it's more of like an art. You know what I mean? It's an episode. Yeah. It's old-timey radio. It's telling a story.
Yeah.
Which I love. And I love the Thrilling Adventure Hour too. That's one of my favorite podcasts ever of all time.
So you have kind of a different take on what you listen to. You're looking for entertainment. I'm looking for information, I guess.
Correct. Yeah. When I listen to podcasts, very few things that I listen to are like informational. Like here's just a quick sampling of my podcasts. Doug Loves Movies with Doug Benson. I Was There Too with Matt Gorley. The Thrilling Adventure Hour. Comedy Bang Bang is one that I've listened to basically since I've been listening to podcasts. Spontanea Nation with Paul F. Tompkins. That's a new one. Super Ego. I don't think I have anything on here that is that I have on here to be a learning experience. I'll pick up things here and there. The Nerdist is, very inspirational sometimes. Same with Still Untitled, the Adam Savage Project. But for the most part, I'm just looking for something to entertain me.
Yeah, you're looking for something to fill your brain pieces, right. And in a different way than I am. So that's awesome. That's awesome, and that's a great thing about podcasting. And I always have the I'm going to have this talk when I have my pitches here for these upcoming podcasts I'm doing for some clients, and be like, podcasting is such an interesting misnomer. It's internet radio, blah blah blah. And that's kind of my little disclaimer, I guess you could say. But it really is. It's just. It's an umbrella word for anything audio. I hate calling the video podcast. We put it on YouTube. Let's be honest. Everybody watches it on YouTube. It's not a podcast at this point, but it is. But I also, for somebody who doesn't know, when we're talking to these practitioners and everything, let's do a podcast. It was like, okay, you're like, I've heard of a podcast. I have an iPhone or had an iPod when that was a thing because I'm a doctor, or whatever the case is, and I think it's, I don't know, but I still want to educate while making them comfortable. Oof, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. But
I don't think it's dangerous. I think that's aspirational. You know what I mean? That's like, no, you're right. It is dangerous a little bit because that's in the restaurant business, educate the customer is a very dangerous and suicidal way to, approach a business plan, because you are encouraging people to reach and better themselves while also giving you money for the experience. So,
wait, what for the restaurant business?
Yes.
How does that apply to a restaurant business? Like, I can make this at home and it's not really that special?
No, with the restaurant business, say you have someone who, comes to the restaurant and just gets, the same burger and fries every time. If you try to educate them and be like, well, if you like burger and fries, you might like, steak tartare, or you might like this, try to encourage your customers to stretch themselves and leave their comfort zone. That's very dangerous because it's that kind of thing backfires very easily, and you need their money. When it comes down to it, that's what you need. So.
It's like I have this. My go-to if I'm at a restaurant is the chicken parm.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I want to like a dinner and not even like a fancy place, but yeah, a fancier place like Carbonaras, I'll get it down there, and I know it's gonna be really good because it's actually an Italian restaurant, right? Mm-hmm. But I get it at the Eden Park, and Denny's took it away, and I'm like, oh, you bastards, Perkins took it away. It's just, and I know maybe I'm the only one that orders that. Maybe that's the thing. But then it's like, oh, geez, what am I doing? Now I'm sitting there like, oh, come on, why do you do this to me? And I take it personal, and you shouldn't take it personal, of course. It's a big corporation, whatever, right? But yeah, I can definitely see that. See, now that's my problem then with social media. I don't know. I'm very altruistic when it comes to social media. No, this is the way, because I believe in the giving away information for free, and people will come to you for your services. Mm-hmm. I guess that's that's different than the restaurant business. But my line on it, again, we're getting so businessy today. My line on it typically is, you can do this. These are free tools, but it may be overwhelming for you. And maybe you don't have the time for this. Hey, you can hire me too, Yeah. But my line is, this is free. You can do it. Let's see if we can teach you how to do it. And we can't figure it out. Here's my card.
Right. Yeah.
And that way, I've given them the option of, here, go do this thing. I did a thing where I made a how-to video with an iPhone and an iPad in iMovie. And I could use Final Cut and make it awesome and use one of my $3,000 cameras and make it look tremendous, right? But, hey, look, you have the tools. I do a podcast 4 days a week. Is about, look at what you can do, Talk to me if you need help, and we'll talk, and maybe I'll turn into something. You never know. And I think that's worked for the most part. And I think and I think it helps for me to, I'm not a ruthless businessman. I hate selling myself. That's a problem. That's probably the problem of my business. Yeah. So you
gotta get paid for what you're doing more than you.
Right. And I have an angle on it, and I have stuff coming, and yeah, but I mean, that's kind of my client acquisition is, here's all the free stuff, but that's what you do. That's what you do when you're doing like newsletter marketing. One of my clients is like, has a thing, sign up for, give us your email and we'll give you the 12 steps to feel better or something like that. I was like, yeah, but you're also going to get those emails about his events and his webinars and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's what I have too, is, I have the newsletter and I write something for the newsletter. I write something for a blog, but also, hey, I have this class coming up. Hey, we're doing this. Hey, we're doing this. Right now I'm in the building phase of that though. So.
Yeah, it's the drug idea. You give them a little taste, and with any luck, they'll get hooked and come back for more.
When we gave away the cupcakes up there on Washington Road when we had the cafe, that was a hit, and we had a lot more cupcake customers on that one. Cupcake Revolution. So let's so like I said, we have an interactive point of this podcast. I think we should get into right now.
Sure.
So we determined last week that we do not have an outro phrase. And I know you joke about it on Panel Riot. I just listened to it yesterday or the day before. See you next week when hopefully I've come up with what was it? You know it. You say it every week.
Yeah, it's I'll see you next week when hopefully I will have thought up a catchphrase. But that's not a joke, Sorg. Do you guys think that's a joke? That's not a joke. I'm desperately trying to come up with catchphrases, and I mean I'm 33 episodes in and just can't come up with one.
Yeah. Oh, I'm bad with titles. I'm like, what am I gonna call this? It has to be something about this, and they just settled with awesome chat. It's like, you know what? Nobody uses it. I did a Google search. Nobody else is using it. Why not? So we have what should our podcast outro phrase be? We put it on our most of our friends and fans are over on Wrestling Mayhem Show's Facebook group. Is their hottest community out of anything going on. So I know there's a lot of crossover there, right? So we put out some ideas. Now at the bottom, I think I probably put these in as place holders or something. I put good evening, good day. Good day, mate. Because we're just Australian by the end of the podcast, apparently. Riz submitted the end ... question mark. I don't know if we can illustrate that in voice. This is only an audio podcast.
No, I think the way that you just said it would be the way that it would be said. You know what I mean?
Thank you for listening to the last podcast ever. See you next week. Yeah. Actually, that'd be great. Call the show the last podcast ever.
That's not a terrible idea, actually.
Man, we should have just gone with that for this show. Somebody's gonna steal that. Before you dress, caress. This is one of yours.
Yes, that's one of mine. Well-known catchphrase.
Well-known?
Yeah.
From where?
From Caress.
Oh.
It's a female deodorant, I believe, and for a long time that was their the phrase on their commercials. Before you dress, caress.
Caress.
Yeah.
We have sit up straight. It's better for your back. I just did that. We should start the show with that. So I sit up straight during the podcast.
You're right. I think we should open with good morning, everyone. Sit up straight. It's better for your back.
And so is this podcast.
Yes, it is. I honestly, I put that on there because I need the reminder often.
Put that aside because I think we might do intro phrases for the next poll.
Right.
So you also put in here, remember that show Murphy Brown?
Yeah.
That was one I looked forward to. I mean, this is one, remember we had 3 channels back in the day and it was just like you kind of just watched whatever was on. Like I've watched way too much Designing Women than I probably should have as a young person.
No such thing.
No such thing?
No such thing. Too much Designing Women.
That's something, you don't get that. And there is this discussion like, will we ever have that big hit? Will we ever have this? It's so diluted. You won't because you don't like, did millions of people pick the 1 out of 3 choices tonight? Incorrect?
Yes, because I would counter with Breaking Bad. I would counter with Mad Men. I would counter with The Sopranos.
But quality wins over anything.
Massive, huge hits of shows. And then that doesn't even get into the whole Netflix thing. Yeah,
that's true. There's a lot of access, but there's a lot of numbers to, and that integrates. So it's more than just that. But I think it's harder, I think you do have to be something truly, truly special to get to that level,
Yeah.
I mean, you are competing with the internet amongst how many hundreds of channels on cable, plus, Netflix, Hulu, et cetera, popping up, us, we're competition, you could say, for people's attention. Maybe some people will think to listen to us instead of watching wrestling or something else, or watching our wrestling show instead of doing something else or watching something on primetime. Hey, people sit there and watch us do our shows on Tuesday night. They're not watching primetime anything. Think about that.
Yeah,
they picked us over primetime television.
That's true.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Their next one here is all caps. You better not have listened to this in the evening.
That's true.
That's from our conversation last week.
I say that because it's true. This is not an evening podcast. This is not after the sun goes down podcast. It is the morning afternoon power hour. It is only appropriate for listening during the morning or afternoon.
Yeah, we've really kind of boxed ourselves in on that one.
We haven't. We have boxed the listener in on that one.
A lot of boxing. This one is from Mad Mike up in Poughkeepsie, New York. He says, "Bye, Menon."
Bye, Menon.
Mm-hmm. And this is the one that both you and I voted for. Until next week, remember, neither of us are robots. We promise.
It's pretty good.
Good.
Once again, that's the only one we agreed on.
That's interesting. That carries weight. 3 people voted for Keep Running.
Right.
Okay.
And that was, no, I thought that Shireman would have been one of those, our friend who runs marathons, but not so much.
Strangely, no. And the other one that also picked up 3 votes, which did that one involve Shireman, maybe?
No.
No, actually it didn't. And That's How Babies Are Made.
Mm-hmm.
Big push for That's How Babies Were Made in the comments as well.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about these choices?
I think they're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of them might not work so well, even though it's one of mine. Before You Dress Caress, that's no good. I think, hey, remember that show Murphy Brown? I think that might be a little too obscure.
That could be a whole nother podcast. That could be a whole nother podcast, like the Murphy Brown podcast.
Sorg, we are not starting a Murphy Brown
podcast. No, we can do a podcast that's like, hey, remember that show?
No.
Colon, the show is Murphy Brown for the first episode. Or, hey, remember that show? And you pick something obscure. Designing Women could be another one.
Designing Women is not obscure.
Well, I don't know. Like, it depends.
Delta Burke was a cultural sensation.
Delta Burke.
Yeah.
Delta Burke.
Now, if you want to talk about Stark Raving Mad, if you remember that show.
Amazing Stories. No?
No. Was that a show?
That was a show, yeah. That was a Steven Spielberg show, I think. It was, basically like The Twilight Zone. Mark Hamill was on that show.
Amazing Stories?
Amazing Stories. I only had 3 channels, Will. I didn't have a lot of options. I lived in the middle of nowhere. I had no friends to visit me.
I didn't either. I mean, I had, it was ABC, NBC, and Fox. And,
I didn't even have Fox.
And PBS.
I didn't even have PBS. We were not uneducated. We didn't have PBS. We're too poor for PBS.
Amazing Stories was I guess it was kind of a, what's the word? Twilight Zone kind of show.
Yeah. There's a Twilight Zone kind of serial kind of thing, Yeah. So hey, it was good. It's on Netflix. It's been on Netflix. I don't know if it is at the moment, but does not hold up, by the way. But yeah. So, anyways, back to the outros here.
Oh, it's a revamped Odd Couple. Oh, okay. I looked up the description for Stark Raving Mad, which was this show that had Tony Shalhoub and Neil Patrick Harris.
Wow.
Yeah. It was about this writer who was a crazy person, and Neil Patrick Harris was his kind of straight-laced manager, and he was sent by the publisher to encourage him to finish his book because he was dragging his feet on finishing his book. And that was the whole premise. And I remember it being really funny, but I'm sure it doesn't hold up.
Wow. Now I kind of want to find that.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think, did it only get 1 season? I don't know. It may have only gotten 3 episodes. Whatever. Anyway, outros. Anyway, yeah, Before You Dress Caress, By Menon, Murphy Brown, I think those are not so great. You better not have listened to this in the evening. That's a little threatening.
Yeah. We don't want to leave on such a note.
Right. So I don't know we agreed on the robot one.
We did, but I don't want to throw away because everybody voted for other ones. So
I don't vote for other ones on the other one too.
I feel I don't know if That's How Babies Are Made is appropriate.
And That's How Babies Are Made.
I mean, and Keep Running really kind of applies to that episode. I don't know. And then it also feels like, to me, Keep Running is like keep running from whatever it is you're running from, in my mind.
I think Keep Running is aspirational. It's like keep running, keep moving, keep doing what you're doing. It's going well. Don't give up.
Or we could combine. Keep running or until next week. Keep running from the robots. But remember, we're not robots. We promise.
That's a little clunky.
It's a little clunky. I'm working on it. I'm workshopping this.
And remember, that's how baby robots are made.
Yes!
Running.
Keep running from them. Dear God, keep running from them. It's like the entire outro is a story in itself. Or we could have revolving outros, but that's too, I don't know. I don't know. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for just an outro. I mean,
it's just saying a different sentence at the end of each episode.
That's true. That's true. But you can't even think of the regular sentence to say on one show for 33 episodes.
That's true.
So I mean, think about the weight of the responsibility on this one.
I don't know. I think of all of them, if I had to guess one, I would pick Keep Running. I think that one's good.
I like it. Okay, I like it. I mean, we are talking about, given the frame of what we're talking about and what this seems to be turning into a happy, aspirational podcast. We want to be the happy cast. The Keep Running. I like that. I like that. And it is one that got at least tied for the most votes.
Yeah, that's our goal, is to be aspirational.
Yeah. At least it's what I think our goal is, I guess. Yeah. So that's it. All right. Wow. I guess that is in the bag then.
Yep. So it's the LB and the Sorg morning afternoon power hour, and our outro phrase will be "Keep running."
Awesome. You doing anything this weekend? People should be looking on the Twitters for you, other than cats.
No. I might play D&D on Sunday. That's our normal date is Sundays. But my friend's parents might be coming in, so I might still go to the same place, but instead of playing D&D, I might just hang out with her and her parents.
Plan. You have a plan. A good plan that doesn't involve work.
Right. Yes.
So that
will involve drinking.
Yes.
I'm finishing my work today. I've got like 3 piles of laundry still in the basement that needs finished off. I might see if I can consolidate some files on my computer here and see if I can get her back in working order.
Her?
Yeah, it's a she. My computer's a she.
Does she sound like Scarlett Johansson yet?
No.
That happy might never leave your apartment.
That's true. Was that what was the name of that movie?
Her.
Yeah. Was that Scarlett Johansson?
That was Scarlett Johansson.
I never saw that movie. I should.
I need to catch it too. I started watching this robot movie with Antonio Banderas, and I'm just like, oh, I'm too tired for this. Again, the thing we were talking about yesterday, where I went out at about 11:30 p.m. On Friday night, and it just really bothers me. I can't stay up and just watch a movie because that's the time I have to watch a movie is 11 o'clock on a Friday night. Right. And I'm just like, nope, you're done. This isn't happening.
You're done. The end.
Just go to bed. You'll have a better day tomorrow, anyways.
Love is over.
Love. Awesome. Well, I am heading up to the homestead in Greenville. We are double booked, as we are seemingly every year in May. RWA is down on West Newton, so we're sending the B team, which means I have to post edit that instead of doing it live. And which means I'm going to have a busy time coming up here. Why my Sunday is probably going to disappear here. And I will be up there in Greenville at Teal College at the fantastic, yet old, yet still fantastic and cavernous Passivant Center. The place where I saw Alex Trebek direct the Greenville Symphony as a child.
Nice.
It's a special place. I performed on the stage as well in district choir. So so the place holds a lot of history for me. So it's really cool to go and see my cousin's dance academy basically fill the damn place usually.
Yeah.
With it's like a 2-hour experience. The amount of kids they basically take everybody from all the classes and make one giant 2-hour insanity thing out of it, and it's a pretty crazy undertaking with costumes and effects and she's so creative, and also because we're I don't know, a year apart, all the music selected is half the music selected is oh, that's the stuff I used to listen to, so we have very similar musical tastes. So and you know, like Marilyn Manson pops up, and it's just like, oh, the grandparents are not digging on this one, you know. And it's so much fun. I love going and just seeing what they pull out is pretty fantastic, and I get to film it, and it's a really good thing. You know, I think I'm doing better for them than the previous guy was. So
yeah.
At least, you know, with my stuff, and it's good, and it's and it sells a lot of DVDs because there's like 400 kids, it seems like, and it does well. It does very, very well for me business wise. It's a good decision, you know.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
So and I get to have a reason to go up there and see family, and it seems like I'm getting less and less reasons to do that. So it's good to do that. So yes. So
Cool.
and then tomorrow, Payback pay-per-view. Love it. It's gonna be insane. We're gonna see if Jen gets hurt.
I'm really hoping that it's better than Extreme Rules was.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be all right.
Kind of
it'll be fine.
My interest, but yeah, I'm hoping to watch it. It's in all likelihood I'll be up in Cranberry, but I will be checking it out.
Well, thank you, everybody. Now, here's the other thing. Which one of us says this?
I was thinking about that. I think we should switch off.
Okay.
Wait, we need another poll.
Oh yeah, intros.
Intro phrase.
Welcome to the Power Hour, where blah 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 blah.
Right.
We'll format it. I'll have it up on the poll here on the Facebook by the time we get around to posting this.
Yeah. This time I'm going to do it a little differently. I'm going to send you an email, Sorg, and it's going to have like 4 or 5 suggestions for intro phrases from me. That way I won't be adding mine to the poll after everyone's already voted.
Good call. All right. Hit me up with that as soon as you can. Thank you, everybody, for being on the Power Hour. And please subscribe to us. I believe you can find the Power Hour on iTunes by now, Stitcher, Smart Radio, and where else we are. I think we're on Spreaker as well. Yeah, Spreaker is where we started. And that's it. That's all audio.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. Maybe I'll start posting the audios to Sorgatron Media or something like that somewhere.
It's a good idea. We can put it on the master feed at least.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's on the master feed as well. But I'm saying, like, because Spreaker will post videos to YouTube of the audio, basically. And I'm thinking about if there's a place we should do that. So there's, just so they're online, just so people can also find them there. So,
sure. Yeah.
But anyways, thank you everybody for joining us, and please check out that poll over the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook group. And maybe if you like wrestling, stick around too. So, what's that?
Here's how we do it. You ready for this?
Yeah.
One of us will say until next week, and then together we'll say keep running.
This will work out so well with the hangout lag.
It absolutely will.
So until next week, everybody.
Keep running.
I don't think that worked.
That's fine.
That's good. All right. And that's in the can.
That's good.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, good sir. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to do this, prep the stuff, and go home.
Oh my god, you are home.
I'm going to go to my old home.
Yes. I am going to. What I'm going to do? Order lunch, maybe.
I have to edit when I said shit.
I think shit's okay. I'm on. I mean, panel. I say shit on panel rides sometimes, and it's family friendly.
That's true. All right, sir. I'll see you later. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Have a good night, man. Or day, because it's in the fucking morning.
Right. All right. Later, man.
Bye.